Welcome, Value Hounds. I hope everybody's well out there in YouTube land. This is ETF Investing Australia, the weekly overview show where we'll take a closer look at the week ending the 20th of September. As always, we are looking at the exchange traded funds traded on the Australian Stock Exchange. Stick around for some fun.
Hello, my little value hounds. This is Scott. I'm the guy that wants to crack your financial sky. I've been listening, I've been watching, and I know that there's a great majority of you guys out there that are scared to invest. Mainly because you think you're going to lose all your goddamn money. What I'm trying to do here is show you guys that it's not as hard as it looks. You know, I want to give you guys some more information and give you the courage to take those steps to create your own destiny effectively. So I hope that I can help you guys take that leap and start making, building your financial freedom and your financial future. Anyway, if you like what I'm doing and you think I'm adding some value to your life with these little videos, give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Greatly appreciated. Have a great day and let's invest and crack your sky.
Okay, let's take a deep dive into the ASX ETF top performers. Top ETFs by 1 week total return. Number one slot there we have the Van Eck Vectors Gold Mines ETF code of GDX up 8%. Beta Shares Crude Oil Index ETF currency hedged triple O's code up 6.1%. Beta Shares Global Gold Mines ETF hedge currency MNRS is a code up 5.7%. Followed up closely by ETFs Physical Palladium. The code there is ETPMPD, up 4.6% for the week. Fifth position here, we're looking at AMP Capital Global Infrastructure Securities Fund. The code is GLIN, that was up 4%. So the top two or three, or maybe four movers are probably, in my opinion, have something to do with the attack on the Saudi oil refinery, so people thinking there's going to be some money made in oil, and also people going to safe haven, so gold. Top ETFs by 12-month total return. We're looking at, in the number position, Beta Shares Geared Australia Equity Fund. The code is GEAR. It's up 56.6%. Follow up there, the number two position is the Beta Shares Geared US Equity Fund, currency hedged. ZYUS is the code, up 45.7%. Van Eck Vectors Gold Miners ETF GDX comes in at number three, up 40.8%. Total 12-month return. Van Eck Vectors China New Economy ETF, CNEW is the code, that one is up 39.1%. Rounding out the top five, we're looking at Beta Shares Global Gold Miners ETF hedged, code is MNRS, that one is up 39.1% for the 12-month total return. Okay, taking a look now at the ASX ETF money flows. Top ETFs by 1 week flows. We're looking at the State Street Spider S&P ASX 200 fund, codes STW. We saw inflows there of 28.3 million. ETFs Physical Gold, the code is Gold. We saw inflows of $12.4 million. Third place iShares Core Composite Bond ETF IAF, flows of 12.1 mil. Fourth position iShares S&P 500, Aussie hedged, it's IHVV, inflows of 10.2 million. Beta Shares Australia Investment Grade Corporate Bond ETF Cred rounds that top five, and that one saw inflows of 8.8 million. Hopping over now to have a quick look at the top ETFs by year-to-date flows. So the B Shares Australia High Interest Cash ETF AAA, quite a popular ETF. So effectively that's a proxy for a bank account, because the interest you're earning in the bank at the moment is pretty dismal. That one has seen inflows of $550.3 million year to date. Vanguard Australia Index ETF VAS comes in at number 2 with $416.8 million of inflows year to date. Vanguard Australia Fixed Interest ETF VAF has seen inflows of $346.6 million. Vanguard MSCI Index International Series VGS, that one's seen inflows of $306.7 million. Rounding out the top 5, looking at the BetaShares Active Australia Hybrid Fund HBRD, we've seen inflows of that ETF of $296.4 million. Moving right along and having a look at the ASX ETF trading volumes. Top ETFs by 1 week average daily turnover in millions of dollars. This week, number 1 position, we saw Vanguard Australia Share Index ETF VAS. Weekly average daily turnover of 23.5 million. Number 2 here, we're looking at the State Street Spider S&P ASX 200 fund. The code is STW. We saw a 1 week average daily turnover of 21.8 million. Up next, we're looking at the BetaShares Australia High Interest Cash ETF AAA. Looking at average daily turnover here of 14.2 million. iShares S&P ASX 200 fund IOZ's a code. 1 week average daily turnover of 9.7 million. Rounding out the top 5, we are looking at the BetaShares S&P ASX 200 Financial Sector ETF. QFN is the code for that one. 1 week average daily turnover of $6.7 million. Slipping over now, look at the top ETFs by total year to date average daily turnover. No surprise in number 1 spot here. Looking at the BetaShares Australia High Interest Cash ETF, AAA is a code. Year to date average daily turnover of 14.8 million. And the number 2 spot here, we're looking at the State Street Spider S&P ASX 200 fund. STW is a code. $14.6 million a year to date average daily turnovers. Vanguard Australia Share Index ETF VAS is a code. $11.7 million year-to-date average daily turnover. Get my brain working on that one. iShares Core S&P 500 IV is the code. IVV is the code, I should say. We've seen year-to-date average daily turnover of $7.4 million. BetaShares Australia ETF 200 ETF, I should say. A200 is the code. And fifth position here, year-to-date average daily turnover of $6.5 million. Quick look at the weekly highlights. We've kind of touched on a lot of, some of this anyway. So we saw increases in oil and oil ETFs. So OOO was up 6.1%, as we mentioned. Gold returned to positive territory. So platinum followed up, as we sort of touched on in our first slide there. Gold mining funds, GDX, MNRS were amongst the week's top performers also. That was pretty much related to the attack on the Saudi Arabia's oil infrastructure. People looking for so-called safety in their investments. US dollar strengthens last week, with the Australian dollar falling more than 1 cent to US 67.66. So Yank was amongst the week's top performing ETFs, while EDS was the poorest performer for the week. So the one I like here, so total flows into domestically domiciled ETFs were 163 million, outflows total 65 million. As we looked at before, the biggest inflows were into domestic ETFs, so STW, MVW and A200, gold, so GOLD, fixed income, IAF cred, hybrid, HBRD. Outflows were from financial sector ETFs such as QFN and US equities, so the biggest US ETF on the Australian market, IVV. VAS was the most traded last week, followed by SAW. QFN traded above average volumes, while gold continues to be in strong demand, I should say. Okay, guys, so that's a quick wrap up for the week. Hope you enjoyed it. Keep listening out for more video content.
Yeah, so this is our standard disclaimer. We're not promoting any particular product here, purely informational purposes to give you guys an overview on the market and what's happening. We always need to do our own research, so you don't want to be buying one product just because you've only looked at one product. And also, you need to take your own personal financial objectives into account, and where needed, get additional advice from a professional. Hey, thanks for taking the time and sticking around to the end of the video. I enjoy producing these videos for you guys. I actually learn a lot of information myself. It keeps me up to date with what's happening in the market. If you like what I'm doing, please give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe, also jingle the bell. That'll let you know when the next video is coming. Greatly appreciate your time once again. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Ciao.